Hi guys, so today I'm recapping A Clüsterfünke Christmas, Holly, Frank, and Chance love triangle. The movie begins with Holly making her way to work through the crowded streets of Manhattan, New York. It's 7 days before Christmas. Holly is a Windermere Hotel and Resort executive in New York City. She's not fond of Christmas and is all about her career after breaking up 6 months ago with her power couple boyfriend, Chance. She gets to work and is tasked by her boss to buy the small town Clüsterfünke Family Inn and turn it into a mega resort. If she blows it, she will be out of a job. The next day, she flies to the small town, Yoletown, Maine, known for their world-famous annual Santa's Bonfire Festival, to the Clüsterfünke Family Inn. She books a room at the inn run by the Clüsterfünke sisters. But everything is so run down, she needs the maintenance guy right away. The faucet and phone are broken and she gets locked out of her room in a towel. The Clüsterfünke sisters' nephew, Frank, the maintenance guy, comes to her rescue. They don't see eye to eye and they have the worst opinions of each other. The next day, Holly goes into town to get coffee. She loves her caffeine, but there's no coffee in that town, so she has to settle for hot cocoa. Then she bumps into Frank. They continue their much to do about nothing argument. Then they head to the Gingerbread People Festival, where Holly volunteers after the Clüsterfünke sisters ask her to help. Then Holly tells the Clüsterfünke sisters she wants to buy their inn. After overhearing the conversation, Frank is adamant about not selling the inn. He believes the inn should stay in the family. The next day, Holly wants to work out, but there's no gym. So Frank invites her to the Yoletown wood chopping contest to get a good workout. They not only work up a sweat as he teaches her to chop wood, but they share a moment. Frank offers to walk her back to the inn, then her ex-boyfriend Chance calls out of the blue, but she ignores the call. After getting a call from her boss, Holly walks outside into a snowstorm unknowingly and is lost. Then Frank rescues her. The next morning, she gets a note from Frank inviting her on a date that evening. Frank goes all out. He picks her up in a horse-driven carriage, kind of, and takes her to a feast of a picnic-style dinner with violinists. He tells her he wants a girlfriend. They make a wish on a star, then they almost kiss before getting interrupted by the violinist. Later, Holly gets home, happy as a lark, and is surprised to find her ex, Chance, waiting in her room. Then Frank returns her scarf to find her with Chance. Then Chance mentions Holly buying the inn and Frank gets upset, thinks she's just using him to buy the inn and leaves. Then Chance, who is on his way to his family reunion, asks her to join him. Holly is a bit hesitant though. The next day, Chance stops by and takes her to coffee, but they have to settle for hot chocolate. Then Holly bumps into Frank at the bonfire prep. They finally are seen eye to eye. Then Chance shows up with a cup of home-brewed coffee for Holly, shipped from a friend. Meanwhile, Frank stares madly in jealousy. Then Chance and Frank go head-to-head in a game of fruitcake cornhole. Frank wins as Holly cheers. Later, Chance asks Holly again to join him for the reunion, but she thinks he's moving too fast. Frank shows up and still thinks she's trying to get them to sell the inn. It's the day of the bonfire festival. Her boss calls to check on things and she quits her job. She gets back to the inn where Chance is waiting for her. He proposes to her, but she turns him down. As she leaves to go back home, she meets Frank on the steps and they share a moment before he gets called away by his aunts. She gets to the train station but ends up returning to town to the bonfire after Frank's dog comes barking, after Frank falls and injures himself. She ties his head wound with her scarf, but he turns out to be fine. Holly manages to save the inn after finding out the inn is struggling financially after she set up an online store and decides to partner up with the sisters to manage the inn. Frank finally lights the bonfire. Then he and Holly share a kiss. The end. If you like this movie recap, you can find more somewhere around here. Bye, guys.